Would you like some shitty players to podcast about a game they're not good at?
What's up, Digidestin? Thank you for listening to the Security Check Digimon TCG podcast. Make sure to join the Cataclysmic Cardboard Discord server via the link in the description. And now, let's jump into the digital world.
You almost got that spot on.
Creepy Craig.
Who are these guys?
We are amazing. We are the Cataclysmic Gamers.
3/4 anyway.
I mean, we've all still been pretty busy.
Yeah.
Holidays and a new year will do that to you.
This is supposed to be downtime, and I feel like it's been even more hectic.
Thanks to Snowmageddon.
I swear.
Yeah, that really sucked.
It ruined my chances at a Win-a-Case.
Which it wasn't a full case because we didn't have enough people there to fire the full case. But it was like half a case tournament.
But 4 boxes is still just like
$25 for 4 boxes. Who won that?
It was 30. It was 30. It was 30. It was 30.
Logan had bad math, and he asked me, and I was like, I don't know. I was like, you're asking the wrong person for math.
Yeah. So it was $30. But yes, I won the 4 boxes. So that was pretty cool. Black Hole Greymon X strikes again.
I swear it never stopped. Does it ever stop? Just sits on your throne.
What is that phrase? An immovable object, an unstoppable force. That's Black War Greymon for Tiny.
So I missed out. What decks did you guys see? What was there?
Well, Tiny, do you want to take what matches you played, and then we'll try to fill in the gaps of what decks?
What the other decks were?
Yeah.
Okay, so there were. I fought Shine Gray. Or no. First round, I fought Gamamon. And then I fought Bloom Lord featuring Quartzmon. And then I fought Shine. I'm trying to remember who was the last.
Was it D Brigade?
Well, the finals was D Brigade, but there were 4 rounds before we top cut.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to remember what that 4th round was.
Did you play Roy?
I want to say I played against Shine a second time, but it was a different Shine player.
Yeah, that was Roy. Yeah, Roy played Shine.
Yeah, I played against Roy. So I played against 2 different Shine players. And then in the finals, well, in the first round of Top Cut, I played against the same Gamamon player that I played in the beginning. So he had to face me twice, which was unfortunate for him. And like the first time we played, the games were actually close. But the second time we played, he was building a house, so it didn't go that well for him.
Brick.
And then in the finals, I fought against D Brigade, and that was very close. The D Brigade matchup made me sweat a little bit more than any of the other matchups did, because he was able to get a ton of bodies on the board super quick.
It's fast.
I only have 1 Crimson Blaze, and that 1 Crimson Blaze got used up in every round that we played, and he still had a full board for most of both of those games.
Is it Bergidramon? That guy's cracked, because you can kill things, but once per turn, it's bringing something back.
Yep. So if you don't have a big AoE board wipe, then you're going to chip away at his board, but he's going to immediately refill the damage that you did.
But you came out on top, though, and you got to play a lot.
I did.
It felt
was
good.
happy. I was happy for getting to play so much, Obviously I was happy for the win, but when I made it to top cut, I was already satisfied that I'd made it to top cut because we had way more people show for
Yeah.
locals than we usually do. So like the competition was much more fierce. I feel like everybody came to win pretty much.
Hey, that's a good thing. That's what you want. All right, Mikey, what happened with you?
I placed 5th, but I played D Brigade round 1, and I brought Mastamon with the new yellow vaccine. So it had Patamons and Magna Anges, Ace, and things. I love the deck, and I feel like if I would have played it more, I would have done better. But round 1 against D Brigade, took game 1. Game 2 I lost, and then game 3 was a draw. It was stupidly close. And then round 2 was D Brigade again, and I loved it. I love playing against Steven. I think he's a swell guy, and it kicked in that match. I think I could have won that match, but just watching him play the deck, it was like, I know you're not supposed to interfere, you could, but I was not going to shark him at all. So it's like, wait a minute. No. You need to be doing this. Like, I just couldn't, because at that deck, because that was the first time I really got to see D Brigade in action, and playing it back to back and seeing the two different, how just piloting it can vary slightly. I loved it. I love that deck. I think it's super cool. Very solid deck. But once again, lost game 1, won game 2, tied game 3. And luckily, Mastamon did its major win con, which is I outlasted. So my gas outlasted his gas, and he decked out. And I had almost no security. I think I had no security at all the game I won. And then he drew his last card, and I got the game. And that was still a close match because he only had 2 security left. And then game 3 was Bloom. And coming into the tournament, I felt like I would see D Brigade and I would see Rose or Bloom Lord. So, of course, I threw in Death X. And I was not afraid to smack him down every game. Every time I seen him, I was like, this is my out. The only way I'm going to lose is if I goof. And by the 3rd round, I think I had learned Mastamon well enough to pilot it that at one point I think I had 9 security. And almost every game, I think they had to check at least 9 to 10 checks a game. So it's a very strong and annoying deck. You can outlast people for sure. I didn't deck out. A lot of people said I would have the potential to deck out when I was building it and watching videos and everything. And I was like, I didn't see it. But it was fun. And then sadly, like I said, tie, and win, I did not make it into the finals. I was 5th. But it was a blast.
No,
So we had
what did Jordan play?
Bloom. And he should have played his Quartzmon. Just like he should have been with me, just like my Death X. I was slapped every time I seen Death X. Like, people hitting it in my security, one of the 3 games was like, whew, thank God.
But it's still a really good card, and it's really fallen off as far as I know. I don't know how it is right now.
It's definitely not as popular as it was.
And depending on your meta, it's definitely, like, for instance, playing Death X against Shine does nothing. It just means Marcus will still punch me in the face whenever he plays his Agumon. So it's not, but against Bloom and D Brigade, it worked out very well because of that consistent board control. And that was something I taught Steven. the way to out Death Xmon, especially with a board that goes wide, is protect your big stack. Once you survive, the Digivolve and all that stuff, if you can build back up, if you can survive, always play a smaller body. Just always throw it out there. Just to keep your stack alive a turn longer, because it deletes the lowest play cost. So the first time I played it, he would spam the board, and then I'm like, all these bodies are going to die. I was like, when this turn ends, they're going to go away. So I said, wait, and then the second game it happened, and his strategy was totally different, and he won. So I mean, it's one of those things. Death X is strong when you see it, but there's so many ways to get around it. Same way with Quartz. It's that there's not a ton of ways to get around it, but if they get greedy and swing, if you're able, most X antibody decks can handle, I think, Quartz very easily, just by being able to zoom into a body. If you got a level 4 or 5 and raising, you can zoom up and kill Quartzmon, no problem, if it's suspended.
So you coached him to beat you.
Oh yeah, because that deck is so fun. Like seeing how Numamon interacts with their tamer, and it can give things rush, and then that's neat. So Commandramon that came from this spammy deck actually now has a really cool top end, some really cool searchers. It has a lot of the pieces it needs to make it, tamer search, search engine itself, being able to play with Cargadramon and Brigadramon, giving them all blocker. I won't say it's the perfect deck, but if you're looking statistically at where the deck came from to now, I feel like they did well with it. It has a purpose, it has a goal, and it also has one of the best option cards to me in the game with DCD Bomb, and it actually being a D Brigade. And I mean, it's D-Digivolve. D-Digivolve is terrible for everyone. No one likes it. So, yeah. It also helps you from decking out, so.
So I just want to say, I fought 2 Shine Greys and a D Brigade. And let me tell you, that black and red Metal Gray X was goated.
the champ.
That card won me the tournament, basically, because it was relevant in at least half of my matchups, over half of my matchups, I'm pretty sure.
Can't Digivolve. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Anti DP reduction and anti Digivolve. It was important, and it saved my stack so many times. That's why he is a 4 of in my list. He was a 4 of in the tournament.
I really think, yeah, if your controlling aspect of the deck, all you have to do is survive. And most people will either A, run out of gas, or you're going to have the biggest body that sadly they're not going to be able to overcome. So what else? So we had 2 Bloom, we had 2 D Brigade, 2 Gamamon, Mastamon, Black War Gray. Did I already say Shine? I think I already said Shine Greymon, didn't I?
Yeah, I think you did.
I know there was more decks out there. What else did everybody play? 2 Bloom, 2 Shine, 2 D Brigade.
You had you with Vaccine, Black War,
Yeah.
that's 8.
There's 2 Gamamon players.
2 Gamamon, that's 10.
I forget what everybody else played.
There's only 1 or 2 more, right?
Yeah.
What was Nicole playing?
That's what I was about. I can't remember what she was playing.
Garurumon?
Was it? Maybe.
I didn't play against her, so I don't know.
I didn't either. But still.
And then there was one red hybrid player.
Oh yeah, God, I can't believe I forgot Leafy Boy. Yeah, Red Hybrid. How could I forget the deck he's played for that and Grandis for literally two fucking years?
So, based on that, our locals meta, how does that compare to the current meta? Because I haven't kept up at all. Like,
Well, so our tournament format was BT14.
Yeah,
We didn't allow the EX5 cards to be used at this tournament because nobody really had EX5 yet, and we felt it would be unfair.
because there was only one group that really had them. Most of us bought EX5
that day.
that day. So.
Yeah, so we didn't have access to the EX5 cards yet. And so we all agreed to do a BT14.
And it's our home turf, dog. So we voted.
okay, so hold up. I'm checking the English format meta on Digimon Meta right now, and there was a Tyrannomon deck that got first place in
Yes.
Spain.
Yes, it did.
What, my
Wait.
boy?
We told you that, or did we? Or maybe me and Jordan was talking about that. But yeah.
And it has the Rapidmon.
Mm-hmm.
That high five, dude.
Tyrannomon, Diaboromon, those decks, I mean, don't count them out in the near future. But I do know this, that Mega came prepared for EX5 as well. He had his Billstar Metal Guard deck. And let me tell you, that thing is gross. And I love it. I love Billstar and having the full power Gabumon X with the Wergurumon X antibody. Just chef's kiss. It's beautiful how fast you can get stuff with your trash. But yeah, I think so. I brought this up before the podcast, but I'm always bad that knowing what EX5 is right now, with Anubis, with Metal Garurumon, and a lot of these decks with Grace Nova, but mainly the ones that's going to get hit by the ban list. I'm always bad to be preemptive and be like, well, I'm going to build them like they need to be built after March 1st. That's the problem. I need to play them while they're busted. I need to play Anubis while you can literally build a wall of retaliation with Mervamon for way easier than the Merva loop. So I think for Natch, you're going to be seeing a lot of Anubis, a lot of Metal Garurumon, and I do think you're still going to see a lot of Shine players. I don't know how much Blue Flare you're going to see, but I think you're going to see some blue-green Imperial. I mean, he's making a mighty comeback right now. A lot of people loving that deck. Guapo in our, Discord's one of them. Deck seems to be two ways. You can go super aggro or super control-y. So, or you can mix it. Seems strong. You've been gone for a long time, Drew, so the meta's shifted almost twice.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, there's
since
been
the last time.
Let's see. The last time I played was at the structured deck tournament for 15 and 16.
No.
Yeah. That was the last time I played.
That is wild. I can't believe it's been that long.
God, really?
Yeah, and before that it was Gen Con, I
Yeah.
think.
Oh my gosh, brother. We gotta get this auto.
We need some
thing
shiny
going.
cardboard in that man's veins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. That sucks. I didn't know it'd been that long.
It's been a minute.
I'm over here fussing about mine, and I'm like, I would literally be on a stretcher. Be grinding up cardboard in a blender, putting it in my veins.
Well, I'm the cardboard mimic, so it's already in my veins. I just, haven't got to use it.
Well, you need some of it.
You
But-
have a cardboard deficiency right now.
Yeah,
For
I got to
sure.
play. I got to play Drasil with Jordan the other night. We only
Hey.
played one round, but
Yeah.
I know that you guys aren't normally awake that late, but whenever I get off work during the week, if you're ever up around 12:30 and you're jonesing for some cardboard, shoot me a DM in Discord because I'll be online.
Well, we talked about meta shift. I really think that this is probably my throat got itchy. I think the crazy thing about this is this EX set actually has decks that people really want to play in it. Also, the Sovereigns deck coming out of left field, and it's won a couple like online local events, but there is a lot of hype around that deck. And
I'm
it
here
seems
for
to
it.
be pretty nasty if you don't know. Once again, it's one of those decks you need to study. If you're not going to play it, you definitely need to know how it plays. Because
Okay, I'll get
playing
to see Haggy using it.
yes,
He'll end up tearing
yeah,
us up with it.
for sure. Definitely need to study up on that deck because it's going to be crazy. That's what I mean. This is what EX1. What did we get from that? We got a Machine Dramon piece. EX2. What decks did we get from EX2?
I mean,
Uh,
EX2 had Gallantmon, which was pretty
Yeah,
prominent for a
and
while.
well,
Beelzemon.
Gallantmon and
And-
Beelzemon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Beelzemon and D Reaper.
But technically, D Reaper was good. That was a good deck out of that set. But Beelzemon, to me, only really got really good when the structure deck came out. That's when it got full power.
And people need to quit sleeping on it. It's still good even after that
Oh yeah,
got gutted. People
yeah.
need
The
to stop.
news wore off, but it's still, and it's going to be. What if we get like 4 or 5 new trash cards in the next couple sets? So I mean, be fine. Modusmon support. No, it's really not Modus support. EX3. What did we get in EX3? Oh wait, what was EX3? Draconic Roar? Was that was Examon?
Examon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Examon.
And then of course, EX4, the wonderful Alter S poo poo. Really good cards. It's just it didn't fly. So I'm just saying, I think out of the EX sets, oh yeah, we had
Well,
red purple. We had red purple
Yeah.
Imperial Dramon and freaking the dragons. Was it 4 Great Dragons?
4 Great Dragons. Yeah.
Yeah.
Draconic Roar. You also had like one-off pieces of certain archetypes that were really good, like Chaos Dramon,
Yeah.
Hydramon.
Yes.
Very good, very good, very good. Also, EX3 is where we got Sorai, which was super popular.
Oh yeah.
In pretty much every blue deck ever.
Yes.
Yes. Well, I mean, it's just a good I've come to the
Um,
point now. You just run those things.
D Brigade got a new Dark Dramon in EX3. I don't know how
Yeah.
much that Dark Dramon was used, but it did get a new Dark Dramon.
I've seen it a couple times.
Dorvikmon became a thing in EX3.
But I don't think it's going to be as meta defining
No,
as
that's
EX5
true. That's true.
is going to be.
I mean, EX5 got a emergency ban.
you know they're putting the spice when it's like emergency ban list. Come on, we got to
Had to
get this
break the
out.
glass. Break the glass.
It sucks, but it's true. That is so funny. I can think of every cartoon where they're freaking out and they get that tiny little hammer and just.
That'd be some good TikTok content.
Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, I think there's just so many good cards, and I mean,
Yeah, just looking through it, you got Edamon,
oh yeah, we got
you got
Leomon.
Leomon.
It's the deck I'm trying to get from it. Grace Nova. I mean, let's
Grace
not sleep on
Nova.
that because this is the start of the Grace Nova's journey. Just like Shine Gray and Imperial and all these decks before it. Luckily, unlike Alter B, we done know that we're getting
More
set
support.
beyond this. Yeah. So, which should make you feel comfortable.
It's definitely, I feel like it's still definitely new player friendly because there's such a variety that you're not set to, oh, you got to come in and pay all this money for this new deck that just came out. Like, it's not getting affected like Yu-Gi-Oh and all these other card games.
No, not well. I mean, Grace Nova is literally contained just within the set. Now, Leomon is a vast majority, but it does seem like people are taking a couple of the BT14 cards, which is fine. You know, no big. I mean, I think most Leomon cards are like 10 cents, 20 cents. So, no big there.
I feel like it's a good way for Bandai to bring in new players. They're like, oh, my favorite Digimon's getting a good deck
Oh yeah.
in this new set. Let me go learn how to play this in this box tournament. It's pre-release. Let me learn how to play.
I think the only thing that they're having the issue with, and I think this is something that I will defend, and why purple keeps getting hit with the ban bat, is if you look at any purple deck besides red, purple, Imperial, and maybe no, not even
Beelzemon.
yeah, and Beelzemon, you have to use a lot of stuff from older sets. Like purple is probably, if you want to build the best version of a purple deck, depending on how techy or spicy you want it, you're probably having to dig back a couple sets, maybe even farther back to the beginning of BT like 4 and 5.
Okay, we got Drasil and the Royal Knights and Apocalypse had a baby.
Oh yeah. You talking about the new set?
Yeah.
BT? Yeah. But also I think they learned a little bit from that. So if you look at all the Royal Knights, they really just fit in that deck. Like you don't really want to run any of those in their own archetypes. But now Beelzemon, I don't think you should run it, but I think you could run it in Beelzemon. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I feel like it's going to be just like the Royal Knights. You'll be able to have your own Demon Lord deck for your favorite Demon Lord, but they go best together. It's just like the Royal Knights, you can use them in their deck, but
I think they're trash.
They're better with when they're together.
Like I mean,
think the
besides
only
Leopardmon.
yeah, Leopardmon can have his own deck, and I think the Gallantmon that goes in the Royal Knights deck is actually
Yeah.
Well, not really.
it is a
bad.
decent tool in Gallantmon. It's not your primary level 6 in a Gallantmon deck. It's never going to be that, but it does have use in a Gallantmon deck.
Right. It's not specifically about that one Royal Knight. It's just like this card can be put in this deck to add a little bit of utility.
Oh yeah.
But it primarily goes with the other knights.
Yeah.
Well, there's some that like Magnamon, you could splash just because it's blocker. If you're going for, yellow, blue control or armor control.
Yeah, like armor control, throw it in there.
Yeah.
The Alphamon was playable in the Alphamon deck. It wasn't the one you wanted, but it was the name.
But see, now that works the opposite. You can run an Alphamon from the Alphamon deck in Royal Knight.
Exactly.
Which I think will be the same way for this deck. I think there will be certain cards that from older Demon Lords you will want to have in the deck. There's just so much news that just got dropped. Like, if you have hung around with Digimon or if you're new to Digimon, I think we're eating good right now. I know we're not got the best prize support or whatever, but I mean, we're getting better. We got 3v3 tournaments. Hopefully when the announcement gets made, we're going to have more tournaments, and the news has just been exploding like non-stop with Diaboromon stuff and Eosmon stuff, and I mean, geez, there's just so much stuff. Training cards and the new freaking Bond of Friendship aces and God almighty, I can't go through them all. The new white Greymon card that's going to break the game. Have you read that one, Drew?
No, the Greymon. I remember seeing it.
Yeah. It's Champion, Vaccine, and Dinosaur. Dorbrickmon. When Digivolving, if this Digimon's name is Coralmon, it gains plus 3000 DP for the turn. Then delete one of your opponent's Digimon with as much or less DP as this Digimon. All turns. This Digimon has all the names of all level 3 and lower cards in its Digivolution cards. On deletion, you may play one Tamer card with Tai, Kari, and its name from your hand without paying its cost, or Hatch in your breeding area inherited. On deletion, you may play one Tamer card with Tai Kamiya or Kari Kamiya and its name from your hand without paying the cost, or Hatch in your breeding area. This is a white card that I have seen people build just massive stacks.
So hold up. So it's treated as Agumon, and then they announced an Agumon ace that digivolves from Agumon. This is disgusting.
Yeah, boy.
And he's pretty splashable in pretty much everything. And he's a Greymon. And what does Bond love? Greymons. Tai and Greymon.
Playing a Tai when it gets deleted.
Yeah. And then what can Tai, like, I think the new Tai even...
Agumon can self-delete. It gets self-deleted.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So you're...
But, you know what? Until we see it in full-fledged action, it could be like, I drool over Gamamon. And I love that deck. And when I explain it to you, and I write it on paper, and you see the deck flow on Drazzle, and you're like, this is a fucking amazing deck. And then you take it to locals, and you're like, God, I hate this deck. I'm going to burn it and sell everything in it. Because it's terrible. I think Angels are going to get nasty.
I read through. Everything's going to be... I feel like everything gets nasty because it keeps every single deck. It just maintains that kind of diversity.
All right,
one kind of squeaks out in front, but they all...
Here's my time to shine. Remember, every time I'm like, if Bandai decides to do one thing right, it will be to bring support to older archetypes to try to keep them from being power crept out, just like in Dragon Ball Super, like they did with Cell and Frieza's army and Vegito and Gogeta and Shinron. They will try their best. And of course, they'll probably get bans out of it too because
Well,
they'll
yeah,
power creep it too much. But
which is why their sets are the way. When they come out, they have a new deck to play. Then they
Yeah.
sprinkle in a bunch of spices for older decks to say, "Hey, make this more relevant."
like, how long did we fuss about Diaboromon? And we're like, you know me, I've had my Diaboromon deck's got dust on it.
And now everybody's gonna be like, "God, I hate Diaboromon."
Yeah, and I'm gonna be like, well, actually, no, I'm not, because I'm not gonna be able to afford any of it. Because aces are $20 right now.
Diaboromon is now Exodia.
Oh yeah, and I love what they're trying with the Clock of End or the Clock of Doom or whatever it is. It's a cool thing. I think that's neat because Diaboromon is all about peace and thing. I like it. Will it work? And if it's busted, I have faith now they'll fix it. You get what I'm saying? I mean, granted, hopefully in the future we will get to experience the brokenness and the hate for as long as Japan does. But until then, we know Bandai will fix things. We don't know they're not afraid to ruin a set by hitting an SR or a secret.
Yeah, they ain't scared of nothing. They're
Yeah.
Game of Thrones.
They're like, oh, your favorite character? Fucking dead. Killing it. No pizza for you, Pokemon. Fuck out. It's so sad. It's sad, but good,
So what exactly is their plan to merging the formats?
Okay, so they had that huge announcement video of all kinds of stuff. Let me actually look up the article. I just seen it. But so we're 2 sets behind, and I need to find it. I know it's out there. Where did I see that post? I just saw it in the news. Where was it at? Was it in our news? So basically, we're going to have to catch up sets, period. But they'll either have to do 2 things. They're going to have to do a world launch of the set or a English Japan, USA Japan thing going on. I mean, that's the only way they can do it. We have to match the sets, and we're done. We always stay 2 to almost 3 sets behind, but I feel like we only have a short time with EX5. March 1st, freaking BT15 drops, and then Lily Watt in June. July.
It's gonna get crazy real quick.
Yeah, July, we instantly have. So it's not even the 3-month cycle anymore. It's barely a 2-month cycle, and we're done getting new stuff. So it's going fast, which is good and bad. Who posted that? Someone posted it. Let me find it. Oh, there's that Salamon. Oh my God, I just seen it, and of course I should have clicked on it and kept it up. Can any of you all find it?
I'm scrolling through Reddit and don't see it anywhere. So
I could have swore I just seen it on Facebook. Digimon. Which, of course, is probably long gone. People post so much in here. Oh, here it is. Here we go. Oh my God. So it must have been on their Twitter. So with Bandai saying they want to unify the game by BT20 in 2025. This guy's asking the question. Does this mean this is what our roadmap will also look like this year? The whole episode didn't have English subtitles, so I wasn't able to understand that. But yeah, so it looks like so far BT16 is, I don't know how their months work. So January of 2025 looks like BT20. So January, February, March, April. We're still pretty far behind because they've got starter deck 18 and 19, EX7, BT18, BT19, EX08, and BT20. So that's what it looks like for 2024. The only way they can do it is if they give us a set like they did in the beginning. A 1.5 booster. Am I wrong?
Well, 15 BT15 is 5 months apart. It's still 5 months
BT15
apart from
Yeah.
so from the Japan release to the English release. But then 16's also 5 months.
That's the issue. We're getting them really fast, and we're still far behind them.
And then EX5 is slated for 4 months. So maybe they're just going to start getting it closer and closer, and we're just going to...
It's going to be hard to do. I mean, legitimately. Pokemon has tried it for years, and now we're what, one step behind, and it's usually just a couple, like what?
That's exactly what they're doing, because this has got 17 in Japan. It releases in March 29th, and then August 9th for English is what it's slated. So they're just going to start pushing it closer and closer until it's beginning of next year. It's set together.
Ooh.
That means this is going to be a very, very active year for.
Yes.
Our meta's going to be wild.
You know, it's going to go crazy for the whole year because we're going to be getting new stuff constantly.
Yeah.
I'm only going to be buying singles.
Yep. Welcome to the
no,
club.
nobody listen to that. None of you all on TCG Player listen to that. Ban that.
Yeah,
Get rid of it.
especially, listen, Crazy Nick, I need you to not.
Okay, once again, this is the sad part. So I threw him a lot of shade last time. I did. Because, I don't think it was him this time. Sadly, once again, Crazy Nick opens up boxes and goes, "Hey, we are opening up this amount. We are selling this amount. We are a nice large card shop. We can do that." And then he puts them on here for this price. Everyone goes and buys up the cheap ones. I can't confirm this, but this is slightly what happened last time. And then people match Crazy Nick. Then that sucks. So, yeah, maybe we should start a little bit lower, which, I mean, eventually he'll drop. He did all of his BTO1 or RBO1. It all had to drop because, dear Lord, I bought Serious Mons the other day for $6. Alt arts.
This guy at Crazy Nick's just like, man, I'm just trying to make my money back from the box.
I mean, now that I'm calmed down and EX5 wasn't the set that I was just drooling over, it makes sense in a sense. But sadly, he is once again the punishment because he probably does mark them high. He seems to do that across the board. Yu-Gi-Oh, lots of things. So he just sets them, and then, of course, nobody's going to buy that. If a card's for $18.99, which one are you going to buy? The $20.99 or the $18.99? You're going to buy the $18.99. Heck, you might even buy the $18.99 with $1 shipping before you buy the $20 one. because if you can get so much from that person, you might get free shipping. So sadly, I think he's just
Crazy?
crazy and unlucky again. And he is now in the sights of the people. Because, I mean, I think the main thing is the promo cards, right? Like, let's look at Diaboromon. Let me spell. Yeah. Diaboromon promo 114. 3rd anniversary promotion pack. Yeah, he's not even the highest here. It's actually Fuego Boars. It's $23. Which, let's see. I don't even think Crazy Nick's on here. Huh. So see, sadly, let's look at sales data. Someone could have maybe bought these. And so we can't see who they're buying them from, I don't think, but so just today there's only been one bought. And it was for $23. But from it seemed the price was at $16 to $17 from $119, and then $120, it was $25. And then there's a bunch that being bought for like $34. And now they've pretty much stabilized. They've bought them all, and now they're sitting at like $25. Yeah, because they started at $562 in November. And then they slowly creeped. And now here we are. I mean, you're going to have to open up a trust fund to get your Tyrannomons if you run 4.
Don't remind me.
I'm just saying. I mean, they're $20-ish too. And if people keep winning with it, it'll just go up. Now that I'm not buying boxes, that I'm buying singles like I do with Pokemon now, I understand it a little bit better. Because if you're buying boxes or a case, that's a lot of investment to maybe not get what you need. But if you do the math and you spend $200 on your deck, that's the same as buying, 3 boxes. So
Your wallet doesn't know what to do though, because there's so much more stuff in there.
oh yeah. That's the thing. It's like it's really the high of the gamble. Like I bought a box. I bought EX5, which luckily the thing I want to play, nothing is expensive. Because it's Leomon, so it's dirt cheap. But if you wanted to play anything expensive, you might. Which, once again, ban list hurts card prices. Because once Anubismon, once Nats are over, Anubis will drop like a rock. Like the alt art's only 1146, which I don't know the pull rates or anything of this set, but I mean it dropped. It went from $40 to $12 because it's banned. So you can only run one of it. So of course, I mean technically, you could have probably kept it through the roof and people would have bought it because it's just one. So, but yeah.
What else? What other news is there? Is there any other news? There's so much stuff going on.
I mean, besides all the announcements and mainly just nationals is going on. So, I mean, that's a big thing. And that was also an issue. Was it Digimon Con? They weren't going to stream any of the tournaments. Now they are. Or was it Digimon? I forget. It was some con. They weren't going to stream any of their tournaments, which was extremely dumb. But they took that back, and now they are.
Digital monsters. They got some terrible digital marketing. Let me
And
tell you.
listen, if you want to feel epic Go to a Pokemon regional, man. You get to see.
Oh, I loved them.
Yeah,
I
you
went
get
to
see.
one in South Carolina.
It's amazing.
It's a good time.
The production is just over the top.
Well, there's a
All the
reason
stuff.
too. Like if you want people to play your card game, you have to hype the crap out of it.
Well, and it's not even that. Like look at the prize money. Well, I guess that is hyping it. Look at the
Yeah.
prize money for Pokemon.
I mean, the reason
know?
people go is because they want to be able to be featured in these games.
Yeah, they want their stage time, which is
And what
awesome.
are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? They're gonna promote your game even more.
And especially Pokemon, I feel like has a lot younger scene, and due to the generation we are, me and you are raising, Josie and Grayson love streamers.
Oh
They
yeah.
love watching them. They love their funny content, and it helps if they're actually, good people in real life or just. But this, in a sense, will allow, what was it? Was it Booga that did Fortnite? And then it just, he won the Fortnite World Championship, got his $1 million.
Oh
And
yeah.
then he
Paid
started streaming.
for. I just seen that video here recently.
Yeah, and he started streaming, and he still streams. And he
Yeah.
does fine. He's not doing I guess, Tim the Tap Man or, Dr. Disrespect or anybody, but he's doing great. And it's because of the hype and everyone seeing him, and of course him winning. So the Pokemon has that same thing. If a young junior gets up there on the main stage and wins, it brings clout to his name. It brings respect. This is a good player. This guy deserved the win, And then this can help bring, if he wants to stream or if he wants to do more with it or wants to create content, having wins on your belt and having exposure helps with that.
Yeah.
So that's what kids are chasing. That's what adults want. It justifies their time. When you can sell a Pokemon medallion or your winners promos at a One Piece tournament to make up your money, it makes up for it, So Bandai, everyone's kind of consuming bits and pieces from everybody. Go ahead and do it. Take a note off Pokemon shelf. Get off your high horse.
Pick a game and make it Digimon.
Well, I mean, that would be good too. That would really be good too. But sadly, that ship has sailed. I mean, they're not giving up on Digimon, but I mean, if this card game the new card game doesn't do well, it won't be long before they make another one. What will it be? God only knows. But I mean, they have Dragon Ball Super. They've beat that dead horse so much. They won't let it go out. They're like, no, let's end on a high note. No, we'll reboot it. We power crept it out of existence, so we'll just start from scratch
You want
and
to see
make
me
it
do it
so
again?
simple. Oh, I agree. I don't want them to be like, okay, we're canning everything, we're sticking with One Piece. But they do need to start focusing more on their other card games. I mean, Battle Spirits literally Battle Spirit Saga literally came over here and died. I feel dumb for buying this box.
Hold up, man. You're going to go play in this tournament to win cash. Cash was
Yeah.
king, baby.
But then they didn't put no cash. Or they didn't have the cash. I don't know what happened. And you can't tell me Bandai's going bankrupt.
Oh, definitely not.
I mean, Bandai has way more than card games. So, I mean, yeah, Battle Spirits. I mean, you can buy a whole case of Battle Spirit Saga for like $100. $120. It's insane. A case.
Man, that's rough.
Yeah.
I'm
How many
not saying
cases could you
yeah.
buy with the? If you
Yeah.
win, how many cases can you buy?
All of them.
all of them.
Dang, I should have sold that ice whatever.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yep.
I've bought.
There's no point in trying to sell those cards now.
Nope. Might as well hold on to them.
Oh, I'll stick them with my World of Warcraft cards.
I was about to say I'm gonna put them right over here with my MetaZoo, my World
Yep.
of Warcraft, my Hero. I'm just gonna stick them over here. I'm not gonna get rid of them. I don't get rid of any of my old card games. I literally have the old Digimon card game, but we're just gonna stick them over there in the corner. Maybe one day my kids will be like, "What's this, Daddy?"
Back in my day, there was a cash tournament.
Back in my day, there was a goal of if you won the circuit, if you did the championships, you could win over $100,000. Well, did you win? No, it never happened.
The game died before the tournament.
Literally, they quit.
A forgotten relic from a time long past.
Well, they even threw Gundam in there, and they're like, "Oh,
Even Gundam couldn't save it, buddy.
no."
And I love Gundam. I think that's what they're trying to do with this new one, and I should remember its name. We talked about it forever ago on the podcast, like a year ago. And it seems neat. Seems cool. But it seems very niche. You know, each deck being its own thing, and I won't say it seems
Bandai.
cat. Yeah.
I feel like they're just trying Vice Wars or whatever.
Vice
Just like, hey,
Schwartz, yeah.
here's our stuff.
I have more hope for Digimon because it's going to be weird, but you know, all these manga runs are like ending, 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 ending. Digimon has progressively just like I'm looking at my protagonist wallpaper and my, blue and red boys wallpaper. There is good characters in every one of these. And they just progress. And I feel like with the Digimon 02, the movie, it's just going to go up from here. I don't
Yeah,
know
I
how
mean,
well it did, but I
well,
feel like it
now-
did good.
Now we've got Liberator coming.
And I'm excited. If everybody was like, ooh, boo, poo, boo. Okay, look. Now shut your mouth. We got Huang Zero making a automated simulator. And it's going to be coming out, whenever. So yes, I will take my web comic because they are amazing, easy to access, and if it gets us more cards and a whole new story, that's just more fodder for the card game itself.
Yep.
Has anyone seen Solo Leveling? You ever
No.
heard of Solo Leveling?
I have heard about it because Johnny was super hyped that it was finally getting an anime adaptation. And
Dude,
he said the anime adaptation was extremely good.
it is very good. And it is almost, which I guess with a manhwa, it's very slidey. It's not so much like a comic book or a manga. It's just very panely. But it was so good. I read all 177 of them. I paid for it. I was like, here, take my money. I need to finish reading this. I need to know what happens. So, and eventually enough people did that to where they made the anime. And I think they're on episode 3, 4 right now. But yeah, it's good.
I'm excited to see Liberator. That was whenever when we were tossing around the Digimon D&D. That was kind of where I was leaning towards because we were playing the card game. So your character should be playing the card game, and then oh snap!
It just gives me something to relate to. And I think it's going to be cool. So, I mean, So yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm excited for any Digimon stuff. I just want more stuff. If I like it, I want more of it, you know?
Well, this year's going to be packed with stuff. So
Oh,
Yeah.
lots of stuff.
get ready. Get ready. Prepare your wallet.
All
mean,
gas, no brakes.
They haven't even started to announce because, you know, it seems we're getting, you know, the bundles now, the little booster, you know, decks and starter decks. So God only knows by the end of this year how many sets we'll have for gift sets and all that stuff. I mean, geez, because they keep pumping out more and more every year. We went from 1 to like 2 to now like 3, almost 4.
So
4.
I do kind of have a concern with this announcement that they are going to finally make a push to catch us up to the Japanese player base. I I do have a concern. Is that even though we were so far behind in the past, there have been so many translation errors that have needed erratas, even with that long delay between them getting a set and us getting the same set. Now that they're pushing the sets out even faster for us to try and catch up, I feel like there's a big risk for even more translation errors and the need for even more erratas. And I'm not going to say, Bandai, please slow down, because I don't want them to slow down. And I don't think they want to slow down, obviously. But Bandai, hire more translators, hire better translators. Make sure these errors don't happen.
Get some quality control.
Yeah, get some quality control on your translation in there.
I mean, I feel like, is it Card Otaku Desu? Is that his name? He does really good when he's reading it from Japanese to us because, you know, he plays, you know, with all, you know, non, you know, English cards. So when I watch his videos, you know, because they come out, you know, months ahead of
Hey, he's
ours.
about to be on the same playing field now.
Yeah. But I love it because I'm like, man, I can't read these cards, but he explains them so well. And then I see the English version, I'm like, I wonder if that's what he said. I'm gonna start going back and watching and being like, oh yeah, that's a terrible translation by Bandai. Because there is a miscommunication somewhere. This set, as far as I know, hasn't been bad.
No, no, I'm not talking about recent sets. I think the last couple of sets have been okay, but there have definitely been instances. I'm looking at you, BT11.
Oh yeah, the book, the Bible.
Where there were some pretty egregious mistranslations.
It's like, hey, this whole card's wrong. This card text was supposed to be on this card.
I mean, more recently, the Wolf of Friendship structure deck, which, to be fair, they did instantly have the correctly translated cards handed out with the structure deck. So they were quick to correct the error, but the fact that the error existed in the first place is its own issue.
Quit hugging that wallet so tight, Bandai. Hire some people. It felt good to pod.
Yeah.
Let's not make it 3 months.
No. Right.
Oh, we didn't announce any of our sponsors. I forgot how to do this. Let's see. We've got Prismatic Defender. So they just launched a bunch of new sleeves and inners, shatter foil inners, 4 or 5 new colors. So go check them out at www.prismaticdefender.com and use SecCheck15 at checkout. Get 15% off your purchase. And if you spend over $50 anywhere within the US or Canada, you get free shipping. Also, check out what?
Now, I was about to say, you want to talk about new releases?
Yeah.
Go check out
Wholehearted.
Wholehearted's mats because
Yes.
he's been just dropping straight fire.
I'm getting that Gamamon tattoo. I'm
He's
gonna do it.
he's got Eosmon and Morphomon that just dropped. His dope 7 Great Demon Lords plant, straight fire. Like those numbers on that mat, chef's kiss. And you can get those at wholehearted.com and use SecCheck10 for 10% off. And let me tell you, get the premium cloth.
Oh yeah. Feels like the carpet.
Yes.
Or like it's not carpet.
It's worth.
Yeah, it's very soft. Is there anyone else I'm forgetting?
I don't think so right off. I mean, shout out to Corbin Cards and Games.
Oh yeah. Shut up.
And then we've got Cataclysmic Gaming Apparel.
Oh yeah.
We've got to get some drops going.
For sure.
We had the last one was Justimon.
Dude, that Justimon's a banger. Don't you dare.
I really want to. I need to get the Cataclysmic Gamers logo from Wholehearted on a beanie.
Yeah.
And yeah. And I really like that Justimon jacket with it on the back.
It'd be amazing.
Great fire.
But I think that's it.
Yeah, I think that's it. All right, so to close this out, Mr. Champion, we need a jank to rank tip of the week, tip of the last 3 months.
Tip of the last 3 months.
Go play. Go play cards.
Yeah.
I feel like that one's too easy. That's like a low-hanging fruit.
I feel like so my takeaway from you winning is the fact that you've played the exact same deck and won every one of these tournaments that you've won with the same deck for the most part. Know your deck.
Yeah, I mean that one really matters. Know your deck, because if you know your deck, you'll know what cards you can get away with running. And you might be able to bring in some spice that people aren't expecting.
I agree with that 100%. Because even with running Mastamon a couple times before with the new cards, by the end of the tournament, if I could go with that knowledge back to the first of the tournament, I think it would have went way different. So, yeah, the more you pilot a deck, the better you know what you need to find.
You know how far you got to dig.
Well, yeah, most
Yeah.
decks have those tools, or
You know what
Tiny knows where he
you're-
needs to get.
Yeah, if you are familiar enough with your deck, then you will know what you need to look for in a given situation. You'll know how to play against your matchups better. And you'll also know how you can tweak your deck. Maybe it's just changing the ratios, or maybe it's adding in a card that other people don't run because it works in your meta. So yeah, know your deck.
Play
It's
the
not
same deck.
it's not just enough to know the cards that are in your deck. You have to play the deck to know the deck.
Man, I think that's the best. That was almost like the climax to Jank to Rank, because everyone knows I played multiple decks. Besides Jordan, I think I'm the worst to hop around with decks. And Tiny literally has won so many locals by playing the same decks. And now the same deck.
I'm sure it helps that it's Black or Greymon, because the deck is good and it does a couple of things that other decks just don't do. But knowing the deck helps.
I'm glad we get to end on a climax of Jankter.
I mean, that was peak jank. I mean, I'm climbing. See, I'm climbing. I'm slowly getting into that almost top tier, and then Tiny's just been there. He's on the mountaintop. It's the pinnacle.
He is. He
I'm
who
coming
stands
for you.
alone.
I'm coming for you, King.
Well, you know what they say. Nowhere is it lonelier than at the top. All right, guys. This has been the first episode of 2024. Isn't it? Isn't this the
Yep.
first episode of
This
2024?
is
Yep.
yeah.
Oh gosh, we're almost a month into 2024, and this is the first episode. What are we doing?
Right.
But this has been the first episode of 2024. We appreciate you for listening, and we'll catch you next time on the Security Check Digimon TCG podcast.